Hello and welcome. I'm BreakyCPK, and I'm here to show you how the new HoN Tour UI actually works for when you need to go and join your game for your scheduled tournament match. So as you can see, for the most part, the UI seems like normal. However, if you notice over here on the left-hand side, what normally says Play Now is actually labeled as HoN Tour. This is because for right now, I actually have a match scheduled for HoN Tour that I need to join. So this is what will show up. It'll look like this whenever you log on and you have a match scheduled for HoN Tour. So you go ahead and click on the button right there, and it brings up a new box here that is new for HoN Tour. So it gives you a couple of options. So the first thing, you will select the actual event that it's for. In this case, it's going to be for the HoN Tour qualifier. So obviously for the majority of you, that's going to be for the first case for you too as well. Then you want to select the match that you're supposed to play. Normally, this would be for the one match, pending on, for whatever reason, having to play multiple. But there'll be the one match to select. And so in this case, Marvelous Milk Fat, going to be going up against HoNcast here. As you can see, definitely HoNcast favored. And then you see at the bottom there's two buttons to select, either the HoN Tour match or matchmaking. So if you just happen to be logging on, you saw that you had a HoN Tour match, and say your buddies weren't on, and it ends up that you're going to be forfeiting for whatever reason, you just figure that they're not actually going to be coming on, then you can just go ahead and go directly to matchmaking. If you do want to join the match, of course, then you just click HoN Tour match. So let's see, we click the HoN Tour match, and then this brings up the new HoN Tour lobby. So as you can tell, a little bit different look here, but of course in the middle there's a countdown timer letting us know how long we basically have before we need all 5 players to join and ready up before we actually result in a forfeit loss for us. So in this case, just for the sake, obviously right now it's just the 2 of us. But so when I join, when my 4 teammates were to join as well, so if I had all 5 filled up right here, this waiting for team button would actually be labeled as ready up. And so once I click that, I'll start glowing green, all cool and stuff. And then we need to wait for the other team to do the same. And once both teams are readied up and ready to go, you'll then load into the game and you'll begin at the lockpick stage. So it's fairly simple for the most part, but just a little bit different than what you're expecting. But obviously the big point of this, it's all automated. It's all automated in the sense you don't need to be worrying about organizing the setup for the match. You don't need to message the other team, wondering which server it's going to be on, who's going to host. It takes care of it all for you. That is the real beauty of HoN Tour in a sense as well. A couple of things to keep in note. You may ask yourself, well, how does it choose a server? In most matchups, obviously if it's just European versus European, it automatically chooses server. So that makes sense. It's going to be a European server. US versus US, the same thing, US server. But if it's a European versus a US West team, say, it'll actually select the average ping for both teams, the best server between the 2 of them, and it'll select it for you. So automatically it takes care of that. So again, something else that you just don't need to worry about, it'll do that. If it happens to be, say, a US East versus a European team, it'll be a case of it'll randomly select either US East or Europe first, then it'll go on the second game to the next server, the other server that is, and then the third game will be the other server. So it's just as if you're flipping a coin or doing the roll as you would normally anyways. Also, the Hellborn and the Legion is completely randomized as well, just like the server. So again, in a case, it's really just a case of flipping a coin, doing the dice roll, and it takes care of that random factor for you. It just takes one step out, basically. So there you go. I mean, that pretty much explains it for the most part. Another actually cool thing, after the match finishes, another cool, as we talk about this being all automated, once the match is finished, everything is automatically recorded, from not only the victory status to who lost and who won, but also all the individual stats, your gold per minute, your individual hero kills, that of course if you go to HoNTour.com you can check out the statistics section, and that keeps track of all the top levels for each of those individual stats. So again, it's all automated, guys. Enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and we'll see you in HoN Tour.